Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Unbeze Blessing, your host for this evening. So today we're supposed to have the vice chairman with us today in person of Omoba Adiola Aditoro Adeyoju, but she's unavoidably absent due to a state function. Now before we start, I would like to introduce you to the special advisor to the executive chairman on environment in person of Mr. Balobu Ademola Sharafa. Do join me in welcoming. Mr. Welcome, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
So, sir, can you please introduce yourself to the viewers here?
Thank you. My name is Omoba Adiola, the special advisor to the executive chairman, Ethos and Government Environment.
So, you are the special advisor to the chairman of environment. So, sir, what can you tell us about your role? What does your job description mean? What do you do?
Well, thank you very much. Like I said, environment, it actually opens up and tells you what the job is to make sure we are in charge of the environment that you are saying to recirculate areas and how
So, generally saying you're in charge of everything environment.
yes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, what major projects has the office carried out since you have been there?
Okay. First of all, we want to thank the executive chairman, the person I want to say that she actually takes all the departments in the government so serious. And the environment is also in touch. So for this reason, the environment department have actually from the members of this administration, we have made sure that depths so also the drainage within the local government and all other things that has to do with development have been put with importance. So we try as much as possible to make sure we flood in time. You will see that in recent time, the problem of flooding does not really pop so much in Ethiopia. Unlike what we had in 2016.
16 flooding. So, sir, with this now, what can you categorically say as major environment issues affecting just local government?
Yes, given the kind of local government and the terrain that we have, local governments for it was the major thing is for that is why we came and decided to take the program to start early before the starting of the rainy season at all. To start to clear our drainage, to start to clear our canals, through to the lagoon, because we all know that Ethiopia local government is just in between the oceans and the lagoon. So, as a matter of fact, we all have to make sure that we before the
In respect to the flooding, would you say it is as a local government is ready for flooding if migration comes? Like all procedures and process have already been taken care of to ensure flooding is not an issue again for Ethiopia. Because you mentioned something about 2016 flooding and how it affected Ethiopia as a local government and surrounding environment. So, what steps have there been infrastructures put in place to ensure that flooding is no longer an issue? Has more drainage been erected, or what exactly has the government done to prevent flooding and something like that?
just have to also tell the public, the users of the drainage and the canal, to also help the local government. This is from the heart of throwing gets indiscriminately dumping of refuse in the drainage and so on. This has from the problem, not as if it's because the drainage was not there, but blockage
affected
effectiveness. Yes, but that is what we are trying to do now. We do that to make sure that we clear the drain all the time so as to enable.
So, sir, what efforts can you see that the local government has put in place in ensuring and maintaining a cleaner Lagos? We have the Cleaner Lagos Initiative. So, what has Lagos State government as an initiative done, and how has local government incorporated this initiative into its own bedrock to ensure that it goes smoothly?
You see, at this junction, kudos has to be given to the amiable governor of Lagos State in the person of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. I think is a man that is working around the clock. So also the Commissioner for Environment, to make sure that all the manifestos to make sure Lagos State is clean are being followed to the letter. So you can see Loma is a state initiative arrangement, and they are working all the time.
Yeah.
Because the major problem, I can tell you from a research I've shown that the major problem is refuse in Lagos State. Affecting Lagos State. It is refuse. Why do we have flood in some places? It is still refuse that will block the canal, that will block the drainage system. It is still refuse. And that is why the lawmen from the state are working around the clock to make sure any refuse on the highway, even in the look and clean of the local government, are being cleared. So we say thank you to lawmen, and so also we collaborate with them to make sure that any black spot spotted within this local government, we intervene with immediate effect and we clear it.
So you mentioned something about lawmen. So are you saying, or can you categorically say that your office has in so many times and so many instances collaborated with the Environment and Waste Office to ensure these initiatives and these programs and sensitizations are being effective?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You see, the Lagos State is like a mother to the local government.
Yes.
The state government is more like a mother. Whatever you want to do, and maybe human capacity, financial capacity, and so on, maybe you were not able to do it as you were supposed, then you run to your mother. And that is what we've been doing. And they have been responding positively. I mean, all the time we've been going to them.
So apart from this agency, and what other parastatals have your office collaborated with in ensuring the environment within its size kept clean, healthy, and okay?
We still go back to the state government, who has actually created the private sector. We call them the PSP.
The PSP.
Yes, they are private sectors. They also help in cleaning the entire environment. All the refuse, they take it away. In the place where they have or they default, we come in, we talk to them. We call them for a meeting all the time. We call them for a meeting all the time. We talk to them and we continue from there. They do so many things. They are also being shared into their jurisdictions. If we had a complaint about a certain place that we as in there is a black spot where people have done refuse indiscriminately, then we call on them to come and take it away.
So your office has worked with them on this?
Yes.
So about
we
so
normally have meetings
with
all
this,
the time. So we had complaints sometime last month in January,
yeah.
and we call on the private PSP people. We call on them and we have meetings with them. They told us some of their challenges in which we are actually working towards. And come next week, hopefully by Wednesday, we are going to have another meeting with them in collaboration with that of CDAs, the Community Development Association.
Okay.
We've called the CDAs, we've called the Landlord Association within our local government, and we're calling the PSP people so as for us to be able to iron out the gridlock area.
Okay. So you mentioned something about issues faced. So can you please elaborate on that? When you say issues, what are those issues that have affected the implementation of some of all your programs and projects? Because we know the work of environment is not an easy one. We're talking about a holistic kind of view towards it. It's not just about the houses, the open areas, and the public areas. We're talking about health in general. So how have you been able to implement all these things together? What problem have you faced that has hindered the proper implementations of these projects you've talked about?
Well, the problem we have been facing and we will continue to face is not limited to this local government alone,
Okay.
and not even to this state alone, and that has to do with the issue of finance.
Yes, finance can be
Yes.
an issue
It's-
most times when it
it's-
comes
it's
to.
the issue of finance.
Yeah.
And there's another thing we need to let people know as far as this secure local government is concerned. You see, different from what people are looking or what they are they are assuming.
Okay.
You get it? Etiosa does not end on the highways. It is not on the expressway alone. What you can see here and there, I mean, both your left and the right hand side, that is not the whole of Etiosa. Etiosa has interior. Has
When
rural
you say
area.
interior, what do you mean by
Yes. You see, when some people are even passing, people living in VGC, there are some people living in so many estates along the road.
that?
Then you ask them some of these communities in Etiosa, they will tell you they don't know, and it's even very close to them. For example, you ask people, where is Aro village or Aro town? Where is Ologolo town?
Okay.
Where is Baruwa town? Where is Shilafia?
Lafayette town, yes.
They will tell you they don't know.
Yes.
Yet, these are places
But are within local government jurisdiction.
The local government, thanks to the executive chairman of the Etiosa. In fact, I am not too surprised because he is actually the son of the soil who was born and bred here. So he knows both left and right
Of all these
of
areas.
all these areas. So he's not a stranger. So he knows everything. And he knows what people do around those places I'm talking about.
Okay.
But to some people, they just want to believe, Etiosa, Express Road, ShopRite, this, that is the whole of. No, it doesn't end there.
So you're saying infrastructures and programs and projects are also going in all these other areas that are not
Yes.
widely known
That
or
is
referred to as Etiosa?
That is what I'm saying.
Okay. Like what project has gone in places like Aro Village and all that?
Yes. There's a road from the express road
Mm-hmm.
that is linking all those communities.
Yeah.
To some extent, those roads are being constructed to a certain level, and then it will continue from there. It will also continue from there. This administration, the Baramaigo road is from this administration. The Ologolo road is from this administration.
yes.
And at the same time, the road is being extended now. Again, we are facing Aro now. And I'm telling you, this is a project that you cannot believe the local government is handling.
So
You will just think it is the state government that is
handling all
this
this project.
this
So
project.
how does this project affect the environment? How does it affect it positively?
Yes, you see, it will definitely affect positively because people find it easy to access the roadside. Then people having lands and houses within are no more suffering to get out of it. I know of a very popular person in Igwefon area. Before the emergence of this administration, he has put for sale in his house. But by the time this administration comes in, and we try as much as possible to fix that road,
The for sale disappeared.
the for sale disappear, and the man renovate and he said to let.
Oh, okay. So you're
So what I'm
saying
saying
it
is
has
that
improved accessibility to
Yes,
areas.
standard of living and everything
has improved.
has improved.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we've talked about the agencies and parastatals that you've worked with in your office. So I want us to now focus on, when we talk about the environment, as we mentioned earlier, we have so many aspects of it. So how or what has your office done in terms of marketplaces? So we have marketplaces almost where everybody gets together, we get food we eat there, we get things we use in our households there. So has any project or program been infected in order to ensure that the market is still a very safe place? We have so many health hazards right now. We have the Lassa fever, the coronavirus, even if it's not yet in Nigeria,
It's not even in
non-recorded.
Africa.
So are you saying we shouldn't have procedures intact to, should I say, make it a safer place? So the market as an environment, how is your office looking into that, sir?
Yes, before now, what we do is to make sure we sanitize all markets,
Okay.
our garage.
Yeah.
Not only on the market environmental days, the officers in the department will go out all the time to make sure all these public places are sanitized and they are, conducive for markets or for people to come and buy and sell whatever they are doing. So that is what has been going on before now. But recently, I am going to let you know that possibly from Friday, it was the weekend, and next week,
Okay.
there's going to be jingles. There's going to be sensitization.
Okay, when you say jingles, you mean sensitization?
Sensitizations,
Okay.
yes. There's going to be sensitization because Honorable Commissioner for Environment in the state has actually directed that because of the outbreak of Lassa fever in the state.
Yes, we did have one recorded case
Yes.
at General Hospital.
And because of this, all local governments, especially the environmental department, have been directed
Okay.
to swing into action to make sure that they have all markets fumigated, all primary and secondary school within the local government fumigated,
Wow.
and so also the motor parks. So this we are going to start any moment from next week.
Now, will this fumigation affect daily activities of individuals?
Oh,
within
no. That is why we're going to tell them, or we're going to sensitize them. It's not something that they have
We
to
just
close the
sort them.
market.
Okay.
No, it's not going to be
Okay.
sudden, and they don't have to close the market because of this.
All right.
So the activities will go on. There are way by which the expert will handle all these things.
In other words, it just has to do with more consciousness on the part
Yes.
of the people.
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking about refuse. You did mention something about refuse and how Loman is ensuring no black spot is left. How has that been going? Will you say the people of Etiosa has helped reduce the workload for Loman? Or has it been more? Please elaborate on that, sir.
Yes, you see, on our daily activities, there's no way we will go away from refuse usage.
Yes, because
Is
everything we use, we don't
we generate a lot of refuse as
In
far
our
as
daily
the state is
activities,
concerned,
yes.
and the local government is not left out of that. So, as a matter of fact, yes, people are actually, let me just say, about 60% cooperative on this aspect. Yet, you cannot rule out that there are some people that will still not cooperate. But then, we are not waiting.
Okay.
We are not relenting. We keep on talking to them, and maybe this is an avenue to also tell our people within the Etiosa local government to please make sure they patronize the PSP. In every wards, in every areas, there is PSP that is designated to that area. So patronize them, give them small money.
When you
Because
say-
you
when-
cannot live with dirty.
Yes.
And if you do not patronize these people, then you want to leave it on the roadside. And when the rain fall or the breeze blow it into the canal, it becomes something else. And it blocks the canals, and then there will be no free flow of water.
From
Then-
those canals down to drainage
Then
and
you
everything.
want to say there is a flood again. So that is why we are appealing to people to please don't just dump your refuse indiscriminately. Patronize the PSP. It's very, very important.
When you say PSP, what do you mean by that?
Yes, what I actually mean are these private people that the government has actually been contacted to pick refuse within the
Okay.
state and local government.
Okay.
Yes, they are not really, even though the government will want to give them some surveillance that is called bridge. But then, it is not going to be enough. I even heard from my own PSP that are within the local government that they have not been given. So because what they believe, or the state officers believe, is that Etiosa local government is an eyebrow local government where big people stays. The people can buy lands for 10 million. Why
So
then won't they
they
be
should
able
be able
to
to
pay
maintain
refuse
it.
for 2,000? So, but then, it does not end there. We are telling our people that Etiosa does not end in VGC, it does not end in what is it called, Abraham Adesoya Estate,
Yeah.
and all other estates in Lekki.
Mm-hmm.
So there are communities, there are places where the low profile people stays. So, but at the same time, we encourage them to make sure they patronize the PSP. It's very, very important.
Okay. So I did hear you mention something about refuse. So many times, like Thursdays are designated for cleanups within the local government. And we're talking about refuge, we've talked about markets. And you'll find out that sometimes you leave your house in the morning and you find they've actually cleaned these drainage systems and they've cleaned the area, but you see heaps of these debts at different areas, like beside the drainage, you see it in front of shops and all that. So what measures are being taken towards that? Because if you leave them there, hours later, it's dispersed back into the environment. So what are those measures being taken to ensure that these heaps don't remain there, these heaps don't actually cause nuisance that you're trying to solve?
When I tell you it is a continuous
Effort.
continuous program,
Okay.
we will not relent. It is not enough for you to just bring out the dirt from the drainage and leave it by the side of the drainage. Before you know it, in less than a day or two, it goes back into the drainage.
Yes.
So then it causes the problem that we don't want again. So that is why the officers and the members of the public have actually been enlightened to make sure that by the time they remove the dirt from the drainage, they also cut it away. They also cut away.
Yeah.
In some cases, we have people that will remove it and then call on the local government that we have removed it too, but we don't know where to pack it to. Okay, don't worry, since you have removed, you have done part of it.
Yes.
We will come. We will just go there,
So
then pack the whole thing.
and
Yes, we will just pack
Okay.
the whole thing and make sure we put it in the appropriate places. That's what we've been doing, and that has been going on well.
Okay. So, how about sensitizations?
It's also a continuous thing.
Okay.
We will keep on educating our people. One, to patronize PSP. Two, to desist from dumping refuse indiscriminately anywhere on the road or wherever you're going. Some will put their refuse as they are going to work in the morning. They hold it in the bag, on the bike, on inside their vehicle. Some will even stop their vehicle and drop it on the bike side of the road. All this we keep on,
Talking about it and
talking
reinforcing it.
to them to make sure this is not good. This is not a good path.
Yeah.
We cannot get to the level by which the government has set for Lagos State, talking about the mega city.
Okay.
So we will keep on talking to our people so as for them to be able to move also along with the government plans.
Okay. So we've talked about the different sectors affecting the environment and all that. So there's something I would like to, should I say, talk more, or we need you to talk more on. We're talking about the flooding. We've mentioned something earlier about how these drainage systems and these canals are already in place to make and ensure that it is no longer an issue. So flooding, Lagos is below the sea level, and Etiosa is one of the coastal areas that are central to it, that is affecting and contending with it. Are there any measures individuals, homes, families should put in place to prevent, because we are about getting into rainy season.
Yeah.
So what measures will you advise, or will you say that as individuals, as a community, should be put in place to ensure that flooding is not an issue this year?
It's very simple.
Okay.
Yes, it's just very simple. All we need to do is to make sure, you see, government cannot do it all. And at the same time, the government cannot be in every place at the same time.
At the same time, that's
And
true.
the rainy season is fast approaching. Make sure you do not block the drainage with your refuse.
Okay.
This is what we are hammering, this is what we've been saying, and this is what we will continue to say. Don't block the drainage. Don't build on the drainage system. Nobody should sell land for you, and that is the place, the water flow is passing, and you felt because you have bought the land, you need to. The government will come. The government of these days does not take nonsense. By the time there is flood and they trace it to your own building, it doesn't cost the state anything to demolish it.
Wow.
It doesn't cost the state anything to demolish, especially when there is a report that this is where the water is
This is where
channelized.
the fault is coming from.
This is where it's coming from, then they will come in.
So
and
you're
look
saying
at it.
there are measures in place
There are
for
measures,
faulters?
yes, for faulters. There are 1,001 ways by which we can. In fact, the only solution to it is for us not to block the drainage.
Okay.
And you can only block the drainage by dumping refuse, by building on it,
Okay.
by sending these children, kindergarten, to go and throw refuse away. They felt that my mother sent me, she have gotten to a place, I will just drop it. Before you know it, when one person drop his own or her own, another person will come in and drop. and that person will come in and drop.
And before you know, you find
Before
this
you know
heap
it.
in 1 week, 2 weeks, everywhere is filled up and everything.
Yes.
Yes, we do get that. Yes. Okay, so what will you say with how things are going, that your office has actually made efforts in ensuring the environment is safer and cleaner?
Yes, we have tried that and we will continue to work on that.
Okay.
It is also very, very important for me to let you know that it is not only, the department is not only for dislodging the canals, the drainage, and also cutting away refuse.
Okay.
We also make sure, because it's environmental health department, so we also make sure the entire local government is hygienic for people to live in. We also go into markets to sanitize, to also make sure what people are selling or what they are buying is
Healthy.
is good enough for consumptions.
Really? Okay, so you're saying like Yabuka,
Yes.
all those food vendors are also
Yes.
under your jurisdiction.
Yes.
How so, sir?
Yes, because apart from where you are building your buka, or wherever you are building, whatever you are build,
Okay.
the Mr. Bigs of this world, the mega chicken,
KFCs
the
and
KFCs of this
yes,
world.
yes, Domino's and the rest.
Yes, you have
Okay.
gotten an approval, you have built, and you are selling.
Yes.
What we need to do is to examine some of these things that you are selling to people.
And ensure they're also
Are they up to the standard? We
Okay.
want to see that. So also the people handling the selling. You see, a situation where we have people with one disease or the other selling to the public, you know what that means?
Yes.
So there's what we call food handler test.
Food handler test.
Food handler test. So anybody that has to sell to the public, especially something that people consume, you have to go through this test and you must pass this test. When we come to your place, all you need to show us is the certificate that all these people in your kitchen and in the counter that are selling, be it Mr. Biggs, be it Mega Chicken, be it Mama Put, they are satisfied, clean and healthy to handle that food.
Okay.
So we also look into all that.
So
As for us to make sure that the environment is
It's
safe.
safe. So when you say pass a test, do they actually go for this test and get certifications for this test?
Yes,
So you
in the government recognized hospitals.
wow.
Yes, it's not just something you can do in
Anywhere.
No.
And are people
Government-
actually adhering to this?
Yes.
Do you have businesses actually
Yes.
taking steps to ensure they have this?
We
food handler
do
test?
this all the time, because by the time you go to a Mega Chicken today, for example,
Okay.
the the person that attended to you last week may have been sacked. They might have employed another person. I wish the other person they employed now is satisfied. So we want to check every time. Anytime our officers get into all this
So there's routine check.
routine check, anytime. Why are you disturbing me? After all, you checked me last week. I'm not sure.
Yes.
So let me see it
actually very
again.
funny that way.
Let me see your certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be something that you have to do continuously. Last week you may have been free from disease.
This week is a different case.
Connected with something. So that's why we cannot wait.
That's
So we
true.
keep checking, and the essence of it all, is for us to make sure that
Things are going actually right.
yes.
So before we continue, let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking more on how all these things affect the environment of Etiosa. Do stay with us. Don't forget to join us on all our social media platforms. Send in your questions. If you have any question for Mr. Balogo Ademola Sharafat, he's here to answer it himself. So send in your questions and keep connected with us. We'll be right back.
Action.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm still Undube is a blessing. And we have here with us the SA, the Special Advisor to the Executive Chairman of Etiosa Local Government Environment, in person of Mr. Balogun Ademola Sharafat. So thank you, sir, for still staying with us. We've talked about your office in general, how your office has been an integral part in ensuring Lagos is still safe and clean. So now, you mentioned earlier something about fumigation happening in coming weeks. So should we be expecting out of that? Should we see people coming in with tools and equipment and run? So What should we expect in regards to that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said earlier on, there's going to be sensitization program before then.
Okay.
We're going to make jingles. We're going to go around to let people know very soon we'll be coming. When I say very soon, it's not as if something is going to take 3 days again.
Okay.
So we will just come in, let people know with flyers, with posters that will be coming. And when you see people coming, especially now, we've been directed to go into these public places.
Yes.
Yes, primary school, secondary school within the local government will be fumigated. The garages within
Car parks, that's
car parks,
public
yes,
car parks
that's
and the
what,
rest.
yes, that's what I mean. So car parks will also be done.
Fumigated,
Yes, so also we will do all the markets within the local government.
So this is taking place as a result of what exactly?
Actually, we were directed to do this because of the outbreak of Lassa fever that is being cited in Lagos State. So we don't want it to continue to spread around or whatever. So anything that has to do with rats.
Yeah,
to
sure.
kill it.
Okay. So thank you very much for staying with us. And you've been very insightful on things happening in our environment. You talk about waste, how waste and dumping of refuge indiscriminately is affecting the environment. So when you take your snacks, your juice and everything and you just dump it straight out your window, so the essay to the environment is saying it is not right. You
Yes.
shouldn't do such things. You shouldn't involve yourself in dumping refuge here, sending your kids out to throw your refuge. And we've talked about how rural areas within HCS local governments have faced blocked
Even the
drainages.
so-called elite
Okay.
within the local government. We have seen them severally. In the morning, they will just have all these things in their cars. And as they are going to work, they just park on the road and dump it there and they go. This is not a good heart. It's not a good heart. By the time you patronize the PSP, there's something will be left at your gate. And then
They will come
they
and
will
pick it
come
up
and
themselves.
pick it. They
So
will
it's
come
even
and
less
pick it.
stressful for
Less
individuals.
stressful. But because people are trying to shortchange, cut some money into their pockets and so on.
They're very frugal with expenses.
It's not supposed to be. It's
Yes,
not supposed
yes,
to
we do
be.
understand
Yes,
that.
please. We are seizing this medium to beg those that are into
They're
their hearts
pleading,
to
asking,
please,
begging.
yes, we're begging them to please desist from this kind of a heart. It's not good, and it is not going to lead us to the kind of legacy
We're aiming for.
we're aiming for here. So it is very, very. So
That's impressive. That's good to know. So we've talked about how food vendors within its local government and Lagos State as a whole should make sure and ensure they have their food handlers test certification ready.
yes.
So go for the test, pass the test, and get your certificate. So even when you have new staff members or new employees to your establishment, you still ensure that they meet the standards already set. And we've talked about how.
And in case you don't know where
Okay.
to do all this, you can just come to the local government.
Yes, the local
to
government is
kilometer
always
15,
open.
just on the
Always
road.
open.
So you can come to the local government to take ask questions and take advice on where to go and do all this. Because if you have found one thing, then you can also.
There are
be
penalties for that.
penalized. Yes.
So that's very good to know, sir. So we've touched on so many issues affecting it. I really appreciate you taking out the time to join us here to speak on our own community and how our lifestyles affect it on different levels. It's amazing to know so many things are actually going on, and it's not just go to work, come back.
And all these things boil down some money.
Yes,
And I will
finances.
not-
You did
I
mention
will-
that was one
I
of the
will not-
problems.
I will not leave
being
this
faced.
place without telling people to make sure that they pay up their levies and charges within the local government. You're already
Okay.
on TV. For those that are doing business, liquor and everything, please, we need money to do a lot and a lot of
The local government can't function without money.
without
The office
money.
of the environment can't function without money. So your money is going to
the
stay up.
executive chairman,
Yeah.
Honorable Said Adeshegun
Bankole.
is bent in he doesn't
Yes, we
have
were with him
any-
last month,
yes,
and
he
the
doesn't want to
developments
hear
and projects
that
on
is
ground
different
is
from
all amazing.
development.
Yes, yes.
He
that's
doesn't want to
true.
listen to anything that is different from development in it, and all this we cannot do
Without money. Without
So we are appealing. This is early in the year. People are out there, our revenue officers are out there, bringing one bill or the other. Please cooperate with them. We will get all
payments,
this. We will get all
early
this money to
payments.
serve you better.
Yes.
We will get all this money to serve you better. You can come in. You can check our website. You can see so many things that we have done, and we will continue to do it. As far as Etios and local government is concerned, it is a continuous program. It is a continuous. In education, the chairman has actually touched it. It will be of interest to you that last year, the primary school in Itedo got burnt.
Yes,
some people are living within this Etios now, and they don't know where is Itedo. And I'm telling you now, since that time, the children were packed into one church where they are having their education.
The classes.
Where they are having their education. And it's not too.
These are our future leaders.
And that is why the local government chairman has said no. Especially when complaints are coming from other religions that how can you say our children should go into the church and start having their education? So the chairman benched and make sure, and I'm telling you,
the construction has started.
No, very long, almost immediately the school got
that's
we started it, and about 75 to 80% completion
has been done.
Now, yes. So it is all about money.
Money.
You see, we have vocational classes that is, ready for starting in the Ikota primary schools. We also have ICT centers where students can be computer literate and so on. So also in the Ikota primary school. Roads were going on in Ologolo, Aro area. Construction of drainage is going on in Lafiaji, where some people will not even know as part of Etiosa. A lot of things is going on.
Yeah.
I say kudos to executive chairman of Etiosa.
Yes.
He's working on the clock.
Bankole is really trying. He's working.
Yes.
He's working, yeah.
Yes.
Because when we had him on last month, it was an amazing section.
Yes.
We had questions, commendations coming in now.
Yes.
It was like, it is not the commendations he needs, that there are so many other things that are happening within the local government that he can talk about. So it was really amazing, really amazing. We even have the issue of lights in rural areas.
Yes.
And as at last week or so,
Yes.
we had the light up projects that
Yes.
took place, that commenced. And it's going beautifully well. Like
Yes.
everything is going perfectly for and coming
You
together
see,
well.
when I tell you about this person, talking about the executive chairman, is somebody that is actually,
yes, he has
loaded.
Yeah.
He's, apart from listening, yes, or it's also loaded. And I cannot fault all this. I'm not even seeing surprise to you because he has been in the system for a very long time.
Yeah.
He has been in the system. He started from the scratch from a counselor.
Counselor.
You understand? So definitely he has actually learned how to climb the ladder from one stage to the other, So whatever he's doing now, he just has to do it.
From even what you said, being a son of the soil,
yes,
he knows these areas that actually need this development.
Do you know why he's going for this solar light up Etiosa?
No, do tell.
Yes. Why he's trying to do all this is just because of the problem of PACN, maintenance of generator. When you have street light, when we have street light in the road, who pays PACN? Nobody wants to pay in the community. When you do a new road, construct a new road, put up a street light, then you put a generator there. Who fuel it? Who maintains it? Would it be the local government coming all the time to maintain it? These are systems that have been tried and has failed.
But
before.
Solar is green.
So,
That's true.
He's just embarking on this, and everywhere is being light up. I will call it light up Etiosa. That's another big project that is going on now.
Yes, we do know. So thank you very much, sir, for having us. Really appreciate your coming in, and you've really enlightened so many issues affecting the environment of Etiosa and the environs of Etiosa. It is really appreciated. And so viewers and our audience at home and in various places, we say thank you very much.
Tell them please, we want to do more. We want to do more.
Definitely.
They should pay their levies.
You've talked about that. I told them that money moves.
Yes.
Money is
the
fuel to the gen.
That is it.
So for more works to happen, more levies have to be paid, more payments have to be made. So please help us so we can help you.
Yes.
Don't forget to join us on all our social media platforms. More are still coming from Etiosa, more is coming from golive. You wouldn't want to miss out on so many other amazing offers, amazing series and sections coming up. Stay tuned, be part of the community, be part of it, be active. Things happening in your society, in your community, speak out. Anything happening, let know. Anything that isn't right, speak out. Just don't keep quiet about things happening. And don't forget, you can be part of this section. You can get your products, your business on Etiosa and Go Live pages. Don't forget to have your advert placements with us and sponsorships with us. For more, do check on our website and our social media pages. Thanks for having us. I am still Blessing, and to our SA to Environment, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.